power of the people affects the retail markets? How do you think that?
Firstly, I would like to use, answering your question, two recent market indicators that became published recently. One is the latest inflation figure, which is expected to be about 7% year on year, as well as the overall growth of retail expected to be in a lower double digit, but around 10 to 12%. So looking at the past year, where the retail growth was mostly generated through inflation, which was nearly in the 20% range, there is a good, better trend this year. So there are actually real retail growth, which is about 5%. So I think the overall market environment and economic challenges still, in this environment, still the retail remains a positive growth trend.
Co-market situations, so the purchasing power of the people affect the retail market. So how do you think about it?
I think recently we see a lot of positive development from foreign investment activity. The latest announcement by Warburg Pincus to acquire about 20% of Vingroup's retail division is one example. The current developments of Keppel and Toshin groups, Maple Tree in joint venture with recent developments of the retail market show that there is a positive attitude towards the Vietnamese retail market. The announcement by Warburg Pincus to acquire 20% of Vingroup retail division is one positive example. But the ongoing developments by international investors such as Keppel and Toshin Group for the Saigon Center, Maple Tree together with Saigon Coke Company for SC Vivo City, Tokyo in joint venture with Becamex for the Union New City Center, where there are large-scale retail developments, show that investors still active and positive to the market. Other big retail operators such as Aeon, E-Mart, recently Auchan showed reconfirmed interest on the market, as well as NTUC Fairprice, who again with Saigon Co opened recently their first center. On a smaller scale, latest entries to the market, Burger King, Starbucks, some of the luxury brands who appear in Vincom Eden, show that there is at least as steady foreign retail activity on the market as it used to be before, if not even more. Examples of recently opened retail centers such as Pandora City, Pico Mall, Com Hoa, and the already mentioned Vincom Eden, high take-up rates and currently high occupancy, again prove that if there is a quality retail space coming on the market, that it matches the customer and tenant demand, then there will be positive response to that.
There's so many difficulties in retail market as present. So do you have has this affected foreign investment?
Again, I think in 2013 we see a increased foreign investment activity. The recent announcement by Warburg Pincus, which is year to date the largest transaction in retail, they purchase about 20% share in the Vincom Vingroup retail division. Other foreign investors such as Keppel and Toshin Group, Maple Tree in a joint venture with Saigon Hope, Tokyo Betamax project. All these prove that there is a remaining interest in the Vietnamese retail industry. Other big retail operators such as Aeon, NTUC FairPrice, Auchan, eMart confirmed their entry to the market, or some of them already open. Expansion of existing local groups, big and small, from Big C to Megastar, Burger King, Starbucks, and Baskin Robbins, expanding aggressively on the market. Luxury segment, Christian Dior, Hugo Boss, Zegna, and Banana Republic. These retailers opened to Vietnam recently. High occupancy of newly opened retail centers, such as Pandora City, Pico Com Hoan, or Vincom Eden, prove that if there is good quality retail space, retail environment, then foreign retailers will come and take the space. Also investors side, if the overall market conditions remain with this positive outlook that we discussed, there is a high level of activity and also the increasing purchasing power of Vietnamese customers. So these customers have now the need to experience modern retail. So foreign investors bring in, besides capital, they bring in, for example, employment. They bring in international standard of know-how, professional retail management, and quality customer service. Overall, they add variety to the market. So from both sides, from the investor side, there are some expectations of investment return, return on the investment, sorry, but also they bring in more to the market. So they should be welcomed and they should be supported.
Okay. So can you give some outlook or futures of the retail markets in Vietnam?
Well, we are confident that the retail segment will keep its steady growth, which is, I think, above average in the region, but definitely in a worldwide environment. This growth level is still regarded very high compared to, for example, European Union or the Eurozone. So multinational investors, when they compare potential of each continent or each market zone, Southeast Asia, including Vietnam, is still positive. However, in the region, there's emerging competition through new frontier markets. For example, Cambodia and Myanmar opening their markets for foreign investment. So these investors will take their capital where the environment is supportive, is transparent, and welcoming. It's easy to do business, for example, and basically the retail space availability will increase on these markets where there is good accessibility, where there's potential for scale, and there is the good management in place. And the retailers who are basically squeezed between the demanding customers and the demanding landlords will choose where they have the best mix of these conditions. So if there is a more down-to-earth market developing in Myanmar where costs are under control, these retail groups, when they enter to these regional markets, they will choose where, for example, cost of doing business is lower and more realistic. So there is a increasing competition and challenge, but we are confident that the Vietnamese outlook is overall positive.